Hi, I'm Christina Heideck here with PTO Answers, and today I'm going to talk to you all about whether or not you should leave PTA to become a PTO. Now, you might actually, at the conclusion of this video, you might be really surprised about how I come down on this. I know I have talked about this in a blog post, and I will link to it in the description, so make sure to go check that out. But I'm gonna give away the ending right at the start, and I'm gonna say, no, you should absolutely not be leaving PTA to become a PTO. And here's why. PTO is only as good as the group that's currently in office. So you might have all your crap together, and that's all well and good, and your group is running very efficiently. But maybe that's not true for the next group that's coming in after you. Maybe they just have less experience on nonprofit boards. Maybe they have zero experience and they have no idea what they're doing. They're really going to be needing the guidance and the support that the PTA structure provides. One of the benefits of all PTAs is that they have the overarching organization above them that they can go to for help. With PTOs, there's nothing else. So you only have the resources that are within your group or that you can scour the internet and find. So you're really already at a disadvantage, in my opinion, because you're never going to be able to access the deep history of an experience and talent and support of the district PTA and the state PTA. Let's take the situation of a president who is refusing to follow the group's bylaws. So there's some aspect in there and she's just flat out refusing to comply with it and is just ignoring it. This actually happens more than you think, but the results of what happens is going to vary drastically depending on what your group structure is. Meaning, if you're a PTA, it's going to play out one way. If you're a PTO, it's probably going to play out another way. So let's take the situation of a PTA. If you're a PTA and you have a PTA president who is just flat out refusing to comply with your bylaws, there's actually someone that you can reach out to for support that's already built in. Actually, there's a bunch of someones. The first person that you can reach out to is your district advisor. So all of the PTAs in the whole wide country are divided up into different districts. You have someone that is kind of on call. It's a volunteer role, but she's on call to kind of help you out with whatever might come up, like whatever questions you might have. It's kind of like a PTA hotline. If you by chance don't have a district advisor because there's just no one in that volunteer role, then you always have the option of going to your state PTA and getting help there. So that is a built-in pipeline, and the volunteers at the state and the district level can work with your PTA president to get them back on track, to make them understand that they really do need to follow the bylaws. And if they don't like the bylaws, then they need to work to change the bylaws rather than disregarding them entirely. Okay, so you have that support built in if you're a PTA. Let's take the same situation if you were a PTO. What happens then? Do you go to talk to a district advisor? No, because the PTO doesn't have that overarching support system built in. Your really only option is to go to your building principal. And I guarantee you, this is the last thing that she wants to deal with, which is a bunch of grown women who are not following the rules and aren't playing nicely together. So they're going to do what they can. But what happens if your principal doesn't want to get involved or doesn't have time for it? You're stuck. So you can you have to work with this situation yourself and other volunteers to kind of get the president on track. And at the end of the day, there's no PTO police. And actually, there's no PTA police either, but you should always be trying to do the right thing. So you can see there, you have two vastly different outcomes. For the PTA situation, I guarantee you that president is gonna right her ship right now, or she's gonna leave. For the PTO, she could totally dig in her heels. She doesn't technically have to follow it because there's nobody that you can go to save the day. And that is the major benefit that I see to having the PTA structure versus just being a PTO. So if you are considering leaving PTA because you're unsatisfied with the dues amount, or that you even have to collect dues, or any other gripe that you have, I guarantee you that the cost of the requirements for being a PTA do not outweigh the costs of what you lose and all of those benefits that you actually realize or don't realize, but they're still there you're still getting a better deal. No matter what hoops that PTA makes you jump through, you're still always going to be getting a better deal with PTA than going to PTO, because it's really like going from a developed city where a nice planned community where you have a structure, to the Wild Wild West. It's as easy as that. So if your group wants to make that change, just know that I really think it's a huge mistake, and I can't explain it in a different way. There's also a whole bunch of other things that you're gonna have to do when you leave to become a PTA. So you'll have a really hard time. So long story short, if you're a PTA, suck it up and just do whatever you need to do and to make it work for you. Really, people's biggest arguments with PTA is stuff that you probably can change. Really, there's like 3 requirements for PTAs, really. You have to have a president, you have to have a treasurer, and you have to collect dues. Beyond that, the other stuff you can kind of suss, and I know different states might have different requirements. Like down in Texas, they have a whole bunch of requirements because Texas is just like to make rules apparently. But like really, those are the 3 main ones that you have to do. And the other ones, it's not written in stone anywhere. So you can probably push back a little bit if you have a problem with it. So I hope this has been really helpful to you. And I hope that you end up sticking with PTA, because I think in the long run, it's really going to be the most beneficial for you and your group going forward. So if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe and make sure to hit the little bell so that you can get notified when I upload new videos. Until next time, my friends, take care. Bye-bye.